have cloud cover increasing as we head through the evening and into the night. Low temperatures only bottoming out in the low 50s in southeastern KELOLAND, 40s elsewhere, and some 30s out to the west, where we could also see a couple of scattered showers building in ahead of our midweek outlook, where rain starts to develop, especially out west. I think we squeeze in one mainly dry day, especially to the east and southeast, but then the rest of that midweek outlook gets a little messy. We'll talk about that in a little more detail coming up, but until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, First at 4.
Coming up, 2 prison inmates are going on trial while they're facing attempted murder charges.
Plus, an annual hunt is bringing people from different political backgrounds together with a common interest.
And later, what happens after the Shields Iceplex lost their ice and what updates they've made since. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Lauren Solik. 2 state prison inmates charged with attempted murder were back in court today.
They are accused of attacking a correctional officer at the penitentiary back in August of last year. Kyle Jones and Lester Monroe walked into court today dressed in plain clothes, surrounded by heavy security. Lawyers for both sides are selecting 12 jurors and 3 alternates. They will hear the case against the 2 men who are accused of beating a correctional officer at the Jamison Annex last year.
The officer recovered, but both men are facing attempted murder charges because of the intensity of the attack. Both Monroe and Jones have pleaded not guilty. We'll have a closer look at the case coming up at 6.
Sioux Falls police are investigating a report of gunshots fired between cars near Mercato's east location last night. Police say that a person in one car started firing a gun at another car, then everyone left the scene. The cars involved are described as silver and red. Officers found bullet casings in the parking lot. No injuries were reported. Police say that one of the cars may have damage.
The Shields Iceplex was in panic mode after finding out that their chiller wasn't working 7 weeks ago. In order to fix the problem, they needed to clear out all of the ice. But after weeks of being out of commission, the ice is back.
We just took the bull by the horns and made a plan, and things have been really smooth up until today, where we get to reopen.
Tonight on KELOLAND News, we will tell you more about the process the Iceplex had to go through to get ice back into their building and how the timing is just about perfect for most winter sports.
Well, it's definitely feeling like fall out there. The clouds have moved in, the winds have picked up.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Let's get a check on our evening forecast with meteorologist Adam Rett.
Well, it certainly is starting to try to feel like fall a little bit more. Today, not so much. It has been another warm day with temperatures running almost 20 degrees above average, especially in southeastern KELOLAND, but we are going to be flipping the script as we head toward the midweek outlook, which also features a slew of other details that we're going to be going over as we head through the hour. For now, though, beautiful view from Falls Park, 73, south wind at 16 miles per hour. That's one other thing. It's been a little breezy today, especially to the east and southeast. Meanwhile, in Eureka, it's not a southerly wind. It's out of the north with an air temperature, rather, of 64. North wind at 13 miles per hour. But notice the cloud cover building in more and more. That's on the backside of a dry cold front that's continuing to push on through. There's downtown Sioux Falls, again, 73. With that air temperature at the airport. The wind will eventually pick up and move to the north as we go later into the evening and overnight. But until then, we're still on the warm side of that front. 70 Watertown, Huron, and up into Aberdeen as well. 58, though, in Rapid City. 54 over towards Spearfish with those cooler temperatures trying to build in more and more. There's satellite view for the entirety of the area. A little bit of cloud cover, and that's putting it mildly. Still making its way through the area from southwest to northeast, but no rain yet. That's the key word in that sentence. By tomorrow, though we do stay dry to the southeast, you notice there is going to be a split on the thermometer. From Sioux Falls, points south and east, 70s, near 80. North and west of there, we're in the 60s. And that split only becomes more apparent as we head north and west of the city. For the northern part of that, either side of 60 in many locations for the day tomorrow with a north wind around 20 miles per hour. Out west, 60s from Pierre to Valentine and to Chamberlain, 50s from Mobridge to Martin, and 42 for Spearfish, 49 in Buffalo. And while rain is in the forecast in general for much of West River for the day on Tuesday, the Black Hills, it's a different story. The first taste of winter is on the way. We'll talk about that and go through the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Well, this past weekend, a group of hunters walked together in pursuit of not only South Dakota's official state bird, but they were also trying to better understand each other's differing political views. Longtime news reporter Kevin Mooster and former state lawmaker Nick Nemick started the Blogmore Hunt back in 2007.
He and I got to talking about that, and I said, you know, why don't we get some of these people together at your place, and we'll just go pheasant hunting. Because some of them online I knew were interested in pheasant hunting. And that's a kind of a common denominator in South Dakota for a lot of people of different views on other things. And Nick said, sure, let's do it. Mary Jo will make some chili, and you fill out the invitation list, and I'll host them. And away we went.
He saw an opening to set up this pheasant hunt, to, you know, give people on opposite sides of the political spectrum an opportunity to get together and prove that we can be friends. Good to see you. And not enemies. And that kind of went from there.
I think people should find areas that they agree on in this sharply divided time. And for us, this is one thing we agree on. And, you know, I don't remember ever having a harsh word spoken on this hunt. And that's what it's all about.
And Keloland's Bob Mercer takes a closer look at the hunt and how it also raises money for charity. That's on the Capitol News Bureau page on our website.
Concerns are rising as the November election draws closer. The FBI is investigating a Chinese hack of cell phones used by the Republican presidential ticket, as well as people involved with Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign. Our Washington correspondent, Maddie Beertemple, reports on the investigation.
As millions of voters cast their ballots,
This election is so important.
and candidates make their final pitches ahead of Election Day.
The most important election in our history.
One of the most consequential elections of our lifetime.
U.S. officials are on high alert for foreign election interference from Russia, Iran, and China. It comes after intelligence agencies reported Russia was behind the circulation of a fake video showing someone ripping up ballots in Pennsylvania. The FBI says that's, quote, part of Moscow's broader effort to raise unfounded questions about the integrity of the U.S. election and stoke divisions among Americans. The FBI is also investigating a Chinese cell phone hack of former President Donald Trump and running mate J.D. Vance, as well as people associated with Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign.
Any attempt to interfere in our election is something that the United States would take with the utmost seriousness.
It's unclear what data the hackers may have accessed, and officials believe the campaigns were among many other targets. The FBI says it's working to strengthen cyber defenses.
China has enormous capabilities.
Senate Intelligence Chairman Mark Warner says he expects efforts to interfere will ramp up after the election to raise doubts about election integrity.
There is absolutely high expectation that Russia, China, Iran will try to interfere and spread dissension.
In Washington, I'm Maddie Beertemple.
And President Joe Biden has cast his vote for the 2024 election. Biden early voted today at a polling station in Wilmington, Delaware. The president waited in line for about 40 minutes before he cast his ballot.
Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at the talks of a ceasefire in the Middle East and if progress is being made.
And 4 years